This video was not intended for children under 13 due to minor bad language. With that said, enjoy the video. Hello everyone, I'm that one autistic train fan. Forgive me if I sound absolutely horrible at the moment. As of now, I have some kind of maybe illness. I don't know, but right now my throat is killing me at the seams. So if I don't sound all that good during this video, I'm sorry. Now, I recall making a promise a while back that I would try and make a review on the Bachman and Scales Thomas and Annie and Clarabel set. Come to the 29th of October of 2025, and I'm finally doing it. Is it a bit of a time waster? Yes, but I don't honestly care by this point. So what is the Thomas and Friends and Scale set? Well, it's basically self-explanatory. The set comes with 11. It comes with 11 curved track, one curved track that's also a power track, an engine, and two coaches. All the straight tracks were bought separately. Is the set worth the price? Let's see for ourselves. The set is made to go with Bachman's N-scale Thomas and Friends range. And so the set comes with Thomas, Annie, and Clarabel, the titular three of the show, if you will. So let's review these separately. First up is Thomas. Thomas is a rather nice looking model. Definitely looks more up to date than the crappy H.O. Bachman Thomas everyone knows and loathes. I don't think this Thomas looks bad. One issue I have is that his lining is so finicky that on most models, if you try to give it, that is often required for you to try and give it a clear coat of some sort to protect the red stripes from chipping off, which is something Bachman should have definitely worked on before releasing it. The tone of blue he has is rather nice, and I think it's the perfect in between a season 5 dark blue and a pale diapet bright blue, which I despise. The face is meant to represent the CGI version of Thomas, and I think it does a good job at it. Thomas has external details such as a brake pipe and lamp irons. Thomas, Annie, Clarabel, and the rest of the N-gauge Thomas range are standard fitted with these Rapido-styled couplings. Now, I honestly think Thomas looks kind of cute. I think that it does look like a nice model that represents Thomas as a character. One thing I've seen people criticize is how his cab seemingly has the whistle and windows on the front as a separate piece rather than just molding it in. I'm not sure why that is, but oh well. The yellow lining on his back windows actually don't go all the way down. I've just noticed that. People have often criticized him for having very fat side rods, but I don't think they're that bad. He has 3 screws or like 5 screws on the bottom you have to undo. And as far as I like how he has step ladders, which is a nice little detail I'm surprised they bothered adding. Now, let's try and do a run with Thomas. So, Now I'm no model train enthusiast, so forgive me if I'm doing something wrong here, but I'm gonna try and do a crawl. I'm using this remote, by the way, so forgive me if it isn't exactly the best. So let's try and make him crawl. Okay, he's moving. He moves very, very slowly. That's probably as slow as I can get him to go. And that's pretty slow on its own accord, and yeah, I think it's kind of cool. Now let's try and go full speed. It is kind of lackluster how fast he can go, which seems like a medium speed for a HO engine. Now bear in mind, he this is an N scale model and it's not going to be very big, so it shouldn't be up to high expectations. Jesus Christ. Now that we've seen Thomas work, let's take a look at his coaches. Annie and Clarabel both share the same mold, so there isn't a spare bit to represent Clarabel's gas compartment, which is kind of sad, eh, but oh well, I guess. They free roll really nicely, and their faces do have a good resemblance of their CGI renders. I like the tone of orange they have. It's that nice darkish orange they have in the show, but it isn't like fully brown. To to unscrew them, there's two little screws on the bottom, and these wee little wheels here. I like how they look. I know on camera it doesn't look like much, but if you actually own this set, then you will understand what I mean. I don't think they look that bad. It would be nice to have a little bit on the Clarabel to kind of indicate her gas compartment. Or you can have this, where Ren and Claire are aiming the same way. Kinda cursed, I'll say, but oh well, I guess. No, let's get Annie and Claire running with Thomas. Ironically, I've actually come up with a good use for that, for the unique designed power track here. Let's get Thomas going. Say, for example, Clarabel came loose and started to jump a bit as she was running. Well, she can just automatically decouple like a slip coach, I guess. Ironically, you can actually use the track to kind of re-rail your coaches. Well, most of the time, let's try and do that again. Okay, well, most times they. Yep, now she's back on the rails. And here we have Thomas going backwards because busy going backwards, I guess. I overall think that this set is rather nice. The things you get is alright. I like how you can get Thomas, Annie, and Clarabel in this one set. It's meant to be a starter set, but to me, it feels like is a little lacking in some regards. For one thing, I had to get the straight track off Amazon for an extra £20, which was already bad enough on the 104 and £80 that was for the set alone. It doesn't come with straights, and I had to get a UK plug separately since this is an American, and the American plug system is obviously different to UK. So, and also that I feel like if they added one more character, they could sort of complete the style of the set, like Bertie maybe. Then you could have a Thomas and Bertie set right there. Now that could be pretty cool. I have also made custom cardboard destinations for it. First up, we have a cubicle water tower, so that if Thomas needs to take a drink, he can just stop by and let the tower do its business. And then after he's done, Thomas can just decide to leave. I've also made a cardboard tunnel bridge thing. It can work as a tunnel for Thomas to go under, or if you got tracks to go above it, you can have Thomas going above going on the bridge, or through the tunnel, whichever way you wanted to go. Or if you got like fake road or whatever, you could just put Bertie on it, I guess. What do I overall? And it's in if you. I know a lot of people say that Bachman Easy Track isn't exactly of the best quality. I should try and get some from Kato, but Easy Track has worked alright enough for me. Not to mention, I don't want to risk a whole Japan import because, as I've learned from the Railway Series Clarabel Thomas, that is not an easy task. And it certainly isn't cheap either. So that's just the Bachman and Scale Thomas and Friends Thomas and Clarabel starter set. I know I'm rather late to it, almost by a whole damn year, but oh well. If you've enjoyed this review, then you can like and subscribe for more. With that said, thank you to Steam Engines United 3456 for the music, and I will see you all next time. Good day, everyone.